Now there is another question by the same person. The concentration part of the Ashtang Yoga system, should it be always on a non-moving part, so something static, what is what corresponds to Dharma in Ashtang Yoga? As you probably know it, Ashtang Yoga has 8 limbs, yam and niyam, which are part of our lifestyle. Then the practice part is asana, pranayam, pratyahara. This is called as Bahirang Yoga, peripheral, or so to say, preparatory things. And then the serious business is dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. So dharana, dhyan, samadhi is called as Antarang Yoga, which is what is a real yoga and meditation attempt to bring our mind to a still and blank state of functioning inactive mind. And here the dharana is maybe translated as concentration. So Patanjali defines this term as deshbandha chittasya dharana. So the commentary by Vyas is saying, he is pointing out certain body locations like the forehead, the tip of the nose, the chin, and maybe this throat where there is a kind of a well, and then the heart, in the sense not quite left side of our chest, not the pumping heart. He is trying to suggest the between the two breasts there is a slight well-like a thing, and also the navel area. So he suggests these are the locations where you should focus your mind in as you attempt to go deep in meditation. So in my classes, I usually recommend the forehead part or between the two eyebrows, where Indian ladies apply that bindi, something here. So, but it's optional. So there is a lot of freedom here. Some people have interpreted it as it can be outside of our body domain also. But remember, our eyes are closed at that time because it is an inward journey, and this should not be confused with the next step, what is called dhyan. Dhyan, Patanjali's statement is pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam. So pratyaya is something is already in your memory, some kind of a scene which you have observed sometimes in the past, and he is suggesting you superimpose it on your mind skin. So there are two aspects here. If we look at it, concentration and meditation together. So concentration, when we say, place your mind on your forehead, this is not that you are, this is a starting step, placing your mind on the forehead, as if this is your reference point. If you are nowhere else, you are there. But then in the next step, you are given a freedom to superimpose anything that has been there in your mind on your mind skin. So mind, so to say, is placed in your forehead, but you are observing. You are not observing your forehead. You are observing that pratyaya, that prototype that you have fixed on your mind skin now. So, then it doesn't have much meaning where your reference point of your mind was. Was it on the forehead? Was it on the chin or on the nose tip? It is not that. That is just a starting point. Then you are expected to get lost into that particular pratyaya, prototype, that image that you have superimposed on your mind skin, what is called chitta in yoga darshan terminology. And here I would like to suggest Maharishi Dayanand makes an input. He says that Omkar Japa, that sound, oh, now that sound at a mental level. So, when I said that image, it doesn't have to be visual image. It is 5-dimensional. It could be sight, sound, smell, taste, or touch. So, Maharishi Dayanand is suggesting a sound, but at a mental level. So in Pratyahara, we recite this sound, which is peripheral yoga. As I said, asana, pranayam, Pratyahara. Pratyahara is peripheral, where you may recite this sound orally, verbally. But then in dharana, you do it mental recitation. And there the baseline, your mind is, so to say, notionally fixed at a location. Actually, mind is not fixed anywhere, but that is just as if you have hooked it someplace. So that the question on dharana is about that. Where should I hook my mind? So Patanjali and then his commentator Vyas is suggesting, as I have listed, certain body locations. But having hooked your mind to that location, what should be the content of your mind? The content of your mind is in the next step of dhyan, meditation, and that should have some sort of uniformity. Patanjali is giving wide freedom there, that anything that is in your memory, you can bring it here and stay focused on it. Ektanta means without any interruptions. But this is where Maharishi Dayanand makes an input in his book called Rigvedadi Bhashya Bhumika. He suggests that this sound, at mental level, please remember that, at mental level, so your mind is reciting it. So when your mind is reciting it uninterruptedly, it becomes meditation. You are lost in this sound. And this is not out of place from Patanjali's instruction, because in his first chapter, he does say, Tasya Vachaka Pranav. Pranav is the name of this sound, and this he says, Tat Japas Tadat Bhavanam. So he is saying this as a efficient method to go into meditation. So Maharishi Dayanand has taken the clue from this and is recommending this, that in your dhyan, meditation, you should be, so it is dharana is, you are mentally reciting this sound, but as you are entering into it, obviously there are some interruptions, some thoughts come here and there, but when those thoughts stop coming, then there is no more interruptions, then it is meditation. And then, if even this, so to say, this prototype of sound also disappears, then you are in samadhi. That is, now your chitta is blank, so to say. So that is finally the objective. So we always suggest that you do this mental recitation of this sound. Mind is reciting. Your lips don't move at that time. But if there are thoughts are bombarding or once in a while, then you would say you are still in dharana. When the interruptions vanish, there is no more interruptions, then you are in dhyan, that is meditation. Concentration now becomes meditation. And with practice, continuing practice over several days and weeks, you will reach a spot where you will feel that flash, that blank thing. So that blank mind is our objective, whereas the sound of Om is vehicle. So like Mundak Upanishad also says that it gives a very interesting analogy that the bow is the pranav, the arrow is myself, and the target is Brahma. So the pranav, the sound is the means like a bow, and then the arrow will go and hit the target correctly. But as you know, the bow will stay here where it was. The finally yoga, the union is between me and that supreme being. So this sound is a vehicle, and if but of course we want to stay with this sound and then vanish into nothingness. But there is it is not nothingness, it is you are in the lap of that supreme being. But it is nothingness in the sense mind now has no business, mind is blank. So there is no material thing present as far as you are concerned, and that is the best analogy is when we are in deep dreamless sleep, sushupti. So in deep dreamless sleep you are nowhere, is it not? There is nothing in the world. So as far as you are concerned, you are in an empty space. But this samadhi is one is notch above the sushupti, above deep dreamless sleep, in the sense you preserve your self-awareness, is it not? So you are there, but there is nothing you are getting to know via your mind. That's what it is. So I hope I have answered this question on concentration, meditation,